Johnson appearing by his separate Zoom. This matter comes before the court at this time for evidentiary preliminary hearing. Court's docket notes indicating that this matter came before the court on February the 2nd for evidentiary hearing, but the state was granted a continuance because there had been no victim witness service yet. The objection made by the defense was overruled. The continuance was granted, and the matter was reset to today. Ms. Norris, I trust you're ready to go forward to preliminary hearing at this time?
No, Your Honor. Similar situation as to the last one.
All right. What efforts have been made to try to get service on the alleged victim witness?
Your Honor, the same as I'd say we probably always do, but we have had phone contact.
What's up, court nerds? Time to get served. Welcome to show 1 of the back-to-back block. Show 1 is our regular live. Show 2 is members only. And I'm going to premiere a never-before-seen clip in show 1 and continue it for members only in show 2, along with clips from today and back in the time vault. So let's roll, nerds.
Did nobody tell them we're not?
This one is Coach Judge Dad, and it's real quick. Just listen to the noise. What the heck is he? What is that?
We're not a.
I'll take care of it, Judge.
I'm ordering a screening and assessment.
Was he mesmerized by the sound, by the buzzing, or was he thinking about the case? I couldn't figure it out. I replayed it like 4 times. I couldn't figure it out. That was fantastic. I just got to replay it for a second. Look. Is it construction?
I'm ordering a screening and assessment. I'm going to make a note. You haven't been going to AA.
All right, let's roll. We have to get Judge Grandmama in our back-to-back block. Let's roll, Judge Grandma.
In the courtroom, you want to do a second round of check-ins with lawyers. Where we at? You want to see whether I think maybe one of our violators is here. We want to see if the violators are here. What do we want to do next?
Two of them, and then we can do a breaking the check in.
Okay.
So, do we have Gene Kearney?
Yeah, we do. He was here up until a minute ago. I was looking at him. Gene Kearney?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Zaranek?
Ready.
And Gary Jones, attorney.
Look at the guy in the bottom middle. Doesn't it look like he has antlers? It's his plants in the back. I thought he had a hat. I thought he had a hat on, like one of those hats. And then I had a look, and it was just his plants.
Gary Jones is here, Emma. I don't know what he got. Don't
You see Gary Jones?
say anything, Gary. Just sit there.
I got it. Okay, case number 22-0597. The people of the state.
Sorry, Emma, I turned it off. Can you say it again?
Yes, ma'am. Case number 22-0597. The people of the state of Michigan versus Gene Kearney. He's scheduled today for a show cause hearing.
So Gene Kearney, our first clip that I premiered, Judge Thomas, Jean Kearney was there and she was scolding him. Today was his second appearance, and she literally takes the grandma role with him. That's why I'm playing this clip. She is Judge Grandma all the way.
Appearances, please.
Agent Pace on behalf of the Probation Department.
Bob Zaranick for Mr. Kearney, Your Honor, P39346. Please state your name, Mr. Kearney.
Jean Kearney,
All right, we're gonna start off with Mr. Kearney. What city are you in?
Detroit.
Mhm. And where are you staying? Do you have a roof overhead?
Yes, I'm back with my mom.
Okay. You plan on staying there a while?
Yes, I'm looking for a job now. I'm trying to get back into FedEx. It's on 8 Mile in Greenfield. So I've been talking to my last boss at FedEx that hired me. Her name Miss Melissa. So I'm just waiting on her to email me back. I'm trying to get into FedEx so I can start working.
Okay, well, in the meantime, you're gonna get in to flip the script so they can help you find a job.
Yes, I'm
Get
trying to
ready.
cut hair too. I'm trying to get in.
You got a license?
to cut hair?
Yeah, to cut hair. You know, they
No.
do regulate that activity.
No.
Are you interested in going to barber school?
Yes.
And are you not gonna yes and no me?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Classic.
Did you get a high school diploma?
Yes, ma'am. I got a high school diploma.
He loves her. He loves it. They love it. They love her.
First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get over to flip the script. Now, did I give you that phone number and address last time?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Have you been
31.
over there?
I talked to him. I gotta get down there and meet in person on 2777 East Grand Boulevard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I also give you information for the trio program on Cass Avenue?
Yes,
Tell me
ma'am, you did.
I know I did. Have you been over there?
No,
The greatest.
ma'am, I haven't.
Well, if you want to go to Barber College and you want to get some financial aid to go to Barber College.
But when I call them, I go to the academic building, and they always go to voicemail. They don't never answer. So
And then didn't I tell you to go to the building? That's why I was giving you the address.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I did. Because I know there's a problem with telephone. That's why I said go to the building. And that's why I gave you the address. Because I also recall telling you that when you go to flip the script, the trio program is in walking distance. You can do both in one day.
I remember you told me.
Yeah, I sure did, but you don't act like you remember because you haven't got either one of them down for me. What's your new address?
20555 Piccadilly.
Of course it's
What
Detroit,
city?
Michigan.
Of course it's Piccadilly.
Detroit, Michigan.
You got a zip code?
Look how she says you got a zip code. Of course he has a zip code. You got a zip code. And you can't take her serious because that headset, the audio is god awful. And it really sounds like she works for Radio Shack customer service.
48221.
Not even the Geek Squad. Radio Shack.
What's the phone number?
586-277-5807.
Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a return date 30 days out. Now, 30 days out, you are going to give me proof that you are been to the trio program. you gonna have proof for me that you went over to flip the script, and while you were there, you told them you wanted to get into Barber's College, and you asked them, can y'all help me figure out where to go, how to get my money, and where the college is at? Because you're gonna not put all your eggs in one basket. You're gonna ask both these folks about going to Barber College.
She's on fire today.
Yes, ma'am.
And you get the job back. That's all right. Because you can work that job and do flip at the same time. And you can work that job and go Barber College at the same time. So getting the job is no excuse for not doing the other two.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't get in touch with Trio, but I bet I can. And I know I got flip on my speed dial. So when you come back here in 30 days, you don't have some paperwork for me, I'm gonna make some phone calls. And it's not gonna be pretty.
Yes, ma'am.
We communicated?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And for a bright young man like yourself, I don't understand why you haven't just gone on Google and Google Barber College, Detroit.
I have, but the ones that they want money.
Which is why you go over and you ask both Flip the Script and the Trio program. Are there some grants out there I qualify for? Is there a financial aid sheet that I can fill out and I might be able to get a Pell Grant or something like that?
She's on
Can you
fire.
help me fill out the paperwork? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why you do that. Right?
Perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
Emma, about 30 days out.
April 13th, Your Honor.
I'll see you on April 13th.
And her court clerk, she's 1A. Her court clerk is 1B. She is on it. They are like a team. It's masterful. Courtney, you said it perfectly. Masterful. All right, let's roll. We have our second appearance of mustard and ketchup.
Yes, Judge.
It's just two mustards, and the red chair is the ketchup.
Okay, hello. How are you?
All right, I'm doing fine.
Okay, great. So you have from January 25th, 2023, you were cited with operation of a vehicle with expired license plate. Fine range on that is $100 to $200 plus court costs, and failing to maintain financial responsibility. Fine range on that is $175 to $350 plus court costs. Do you want to plead not guilty in order to have time to hire an attorney? Or have a trial?
I plead guilty since it is true.
Okay.
But I had also had got that card that week. So
right. Did you have insurance on the date? Know that if you had insurance on that date, which in your case was on January 25th, 2023, if you had insurance, it could be a dismissal, but it would have to list you as a covered driver and be, have financial responsibility. Did you have it that date?
No, I had asked the officer, like, I don't have none of the information, and all my mom had it, and we just didn't get it cleared because I went to jail and Childress and all that.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, and they said that people had moved to Dallas or something. So I didn't know how to get it filled in.
I see. So you're working on it now, or you got it now, but you didn't have it on that particular day, right?
Yeah, I stopped driving the car completely.
Okay, well that's good. Well, all right. So did you say guilty? I'll explain. You're going to be time served on your first case. Did you say guilty on both?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you plead guilty, then you're telling me you don't want an attorney and you don't want a trial. Is that correct?
We have to have something every time a judge says time served. We have to. I have to come up with a button. There's got to be a sound effect. Tell me in the comments what sound effect we should use for time served. It said way too much. We need a time served button.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so on your pleas of guilty on the operation of a vehicle with expired license plate, you will be time served. you know what that means? I'm sure you do. You know, you don't know anything on it, basically, is what that means. Okay, that one's done. And then on your failing to maintain financial responsibility, I will give you jail credit, and giving you your jail credit of 2 days. You will assess fine and court costs of the amount of $450. You owe $150. So I'm going $150. So I'm going to release you to report to come see me by 2 p.m. the first business day following your release. If this is all that's holding you, then that you need to come by tomorrow by 2 p.m. All right.
Is there any way I can get that lowered? Because right now I'm in a situation where I'm walking, and now I have to get a job and I have to walk to you since I do not have that car available to me. Right.
Well, I can't lower it. We can talk about doing some kind of community service or whatever, or I guess you could, if you want me to voluntarily remand you to sit it out for another day, you could do that as well. Let's see, you owe $150, so you'd have to. I can
do community service.
Okay, we can sure consider that. If you can just figure out a way to get here by 2 p.m. tomorrow. You know, we're right downtown by the police department. I don't know. Are you staying on Tyler right now? No, you're on Madison. Okay. Well, yeah, I can't lower it anymore, but we can sure consider.
So right here, guys, down at the bottom, I'm having some performance issues. I have an older computer, so that's what the hard drive fund is. So if you want to show your support, I'll never ask for anything. If you want to show your support by donations, you guys have been great. It's going towards right back into the channel. That's what the scrolling on there for.
Consider community service when you come tomorrow, but I sure don't want you to miss that hearing, okay? Because I don't want to have to issue a warrant, and just bring me any documents you have on income and expense.
So when it had brought me here on the warrant the first time, like a few days ago, is there like any way I can get my property back? Because I didn't get my property released to me, my cash, because they had took me to the hospital.
Okay, well, I'm certain that that's something you're gonna have to take up with you're talking about they took you to the hospital and the officers booked it in?
Yeah, and they didn't give me my money back, and my money will honestly pay for that ticket.
Okay, well, when you're booking out today, unless there's some other reason, I don't see any other charges they charged you with, so they should be giving you that, and you can pay that $150, and you can even do it there, make it easier, and then you won't have to appear. Or you can pay it, just pay it there, and then you won't have to appear if you pay the full $150. Okay, otherwise you need to appear, and we'll talk about community service, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, the map is gonna be given to you in the back. All right, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, have a good day. You can return to your pod. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
Thank you, Grandma B. Thank you, Heather. Yes. I'll pull it. We'll pull it up.
Have a great day.
Okay.
And that's the reason I have a whole package of animation that I got from a designer, and I have an editor on cue. And the problem is that the computer is lagging and it's causing problems. So I have to upgrade because it's good for what I was doing before. But now that I'm producing content, I need the hardware.
Hold on a moment.
Ooh, like that.
What's your name, sir?
Shabowski.
Mr. Shabowski.
Give me 1 second.
I don't know what the water is like in Amarillo, what they put in it, but whoa. It's a different breed.
Shabowski, come on up. All right, Mr. Shabowski, you have from March 7th, 2023, you were arrested for the offense of public intoxication. The fine range on that is $100 to $500 plus your court costs. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so do you want to plead not guilty in order to have time to hire an attorney or have a trial?
No, I plead guilty.
Okay.
Plead guilty.
Okay, on your plea of guilty, I'll find you guilty. Says fine and court costs in the amount of $484. give you credit for 2 days that you to report to come see me the first business day following your release by 2 p.m. So that should be,
He said something about 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
yes, we prefer that. Oh, go ahead, sir.
So I can show up at 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock?
Well, the 2 o'clock is the best time to show up, but if you can't make 2 o'clock, you can show up at 11, and you need to show up about 15 minutes early. So 2 o'clock is really the main time.
Okay.
But if you choose to come at 11, you can come a little bit before 11, and we can see you at 11.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't you love how no one's addressing his dress? No one's addressing it. He's hanging on by a thread.
Yes, he's going to give you a map, and remember, bring
I know.
Hello, Ann.
Amarillo Police Department.
It's on the other side.
Oh, it's behind there. Right. Okay, I'll take a
Yes.
map.
Okay. All right. We will see you tomorrow by 2 p.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
And now, viewing pleasure. Amarillo's door.
The next one is being escorted.
Okay. Thank you. You see extra.
He's here, he comes, Mr. Amarillo. They saved the best for last in Amarillo. Come on. Do I have to fast forward it again? It feels a lot shorter when I'm watching it for the first time. Oh, here he comes. Ta-da! Right here. Here. What? Hello, sir. Sir. Dina doesn't pump her own gas.
Hey, Tori.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, sir. Did you see my message? I
Definitely did.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, no, I do see that.
Can I? You see what I'm saying? Yes, yes, I can, or no?
I think it's fine. I just wanted to confirm. And
Yeah, I know, and I feel like it's smarter.
Okay.
So yes, so that will be $4.50. That will be time served.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I'll
Would have
just.
had
Do
3
you need to
bells
talk to
ready.
him first, or?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Hi.
Oh, how you doing?
Hello.
Very
I'm
nice.
doing just fine, thank you. Let me see, Mr. Okay, so just give me 1 second. How do you say your name, sir?
Fazili Yusufu.
Okay, Mr. Yusufu, I am Judge Evans with Amarillo Municipal Court, and I'm just going to talk to you about your public intoxication. Okay. I guess I need to tell you, since you weren't in here, I'll tell you quickly that you have the right to plead. Well, today we have to enter a plea, but and these are fun. This is a punishable by fine only. All right. So if you're able to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty or no contest, you do have a right to have an attorney. You have a right to ask to plead not guilty and ask for time to hire an attorney. You have a right to plead not guilty and ask to have a trial by judge or jury. You have the right to remain silent, not make any statements against you. Any statement you make can and will be used against you in evidence. You have the right to have an attorney present to advise you during any interviews with police or prosecutors. And you have the right to terminate the interview at any time. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you have the right to have your country of origin notified you're in custody. Okay, so you can enter today. You can enter a plea for me to these charges of not guilty, guilty, or no contest. If you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, public intoxication has a fine range of $100 to $500. I will assess the fine within the fine range at court cost for a total, give you jail credit that you've served, and you would owe $34. But you also have a right to maintain your plea of not guilty. If you plead not guilty today, I will set a bond in your case. If you plead not guilty today, that's fine. But that, if you plead guilty or no contest, you're telling me you don't want an attorney and you don't want a trial. How would you like to plead today on these charges?
Wycliffe?
Sir?
Guilty.
Okay, sir, I forgot to tell you that, yeah, I forgot to tell you that since you plead guilty in jail, you have 10 days from today's date. Let's say you change your mind later. You have 10 days from today's date, which will be on March the 20th, to file a written motion for a new trial. It's easy to do, and we can reverse your plea and allow you to post a bond and go on a trial docket. All right, so guilty to that, sir? All right, on your plea of guilty to public intoxication, I will find you guilty, assess fine and court costs in the amount of $484, give you credit for the 3 days you've served, and you will owe $34. I'm going to release you to report to come see me by 2 p.m. tomorrow at the Amarillo Municipal Court to talk about how to pay that balance. If you're able to pay that balance before you appear here, you don't have to come and see a judge. And if you aren't, then we'll just see you and we'll talk about how to pay that out. Okay? Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No.
Okay. Have a good day.
He's rocking some nice jeans. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready? I was going to save this for the members only, but I have some goodies for the members only too. This has to be seen and has to be seen right now.
Yeah, I think he's gone. Yeah, I think that's it. We just have the one young lady that's in the Erica. Oh, who's representing herself? You ready?
She said, "Are you ready?"
Ms. Boyd, will you please turn your camera on? Now calling the people versus Erica Bowie, ticket number P1375826. Count 1, drive while license suspended. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. And count 3, improper plate. Ms. Boyd, will you please state your appearance for the record?
Yes, all rights reserved. And for the record, I am out of, excuse me, I've been waiting. I'm just trying to get my Zoom and everything.
Take your time. In the meantime, Ms. Bowie,
Okay, yes, here I am.
Ms. Bowie, if you're not wearing a head garment for religious purposes or for illness, I am asking that you time.
This is a part of my my spiritual awareness and awakening, part of my indigenous belief and practices.
Okay. All right, Ms. Bowie, are you being represented? Are you requesting counsel at the time?
Pardon me?
Do you have an attorney to represent you today?
I am standing in as the beneficiary of Erica Bowie. I am not of this jurisdiction. I proclaim my status in 2016 and documents were forwarded to the court to state this, to let you know that I am a part of League of Indian Nation. I am not of this jurisdiction, and I ask that the case be dismissed.
Okay, the dismissal is denied. Will you state your name for the record?
All rights reserved.
Are you stating your name for the record? Or are you refusing to state your name for the record?
For the record, all rights reserved is what I go by. I am standing in as the beneficiary of Erica Bowie.
Okay, so Ms. Bowie, this is the date.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Judge, but there's some feedback or something that as I'm writing, I hear
The sounds, if that can be turned down, does someone have a TV? Okay, I don't hear anything right.
I think that's just her background.
I believe it's feedback from, yes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry, Bob. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay. So do we have you, Ms. Erica Bowie? Are you stating that your name is Erica Bowie for the record? You have it?
There are multiple people talking. I'm sorry, Judge, but there's someone talking at the same time. I apologize.
No worries. We just have to wrap up a call in the courtroom.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we have, on the Zoom, we have an appearance that states Erica Bowie as your name. Is your name Erica Bowie?
My name is Bowie L.
Okay, so as you named yourself, did you name yourself on the Zoom as Erica Bowie?
No, your clerk changed the name.
Okay, and so unless we have an actual Erica Bowie in the courtroom or an attorney appearing on behalf of Erica Bowie on the.
I am the beneficiary of Erica Bowie. I am standing for Erica Bowie.
They're not present.
So I'm gonna ask one more time if Erica Bowie is in the courtroom before we issue a KBS. If Erica Bowie is in the courtroom, not the beneficiary of Erica Bowie, but actually Erica Bowie needs to be in appearance in this courtroom today. Therefore,
well, this is what they wrote the ticket up under. Okay. I showed the police officer all my papers and documentations as well. And this is what they wrote up. I also, it should be in the docket, all my documentation and my identification with League of Indian Nation, my proclamation, my notarized letter from the state of Michigan stating I am not a corporation, verified by Benson. And also it was 4 pieces of documents. Oh, and a picture of my ID with League of Indian Nations.
okay, so again.
You have those items in the document.
Time, I cannot proceed without Erica Bowie actually being in the courtroom and stating your name for the record as Erica Bowie. Erica Bowie is the person on my docket. Erica Bowie needs to be the person and or an attorney who represents Erica Bowie.
Well, for the record, Your Honor, I am the beneficiary of Erica Bowie.
Without Erica Bowie being in the courtroom, I cannot proceed.
Well, that's that's not by my lack of. That's because that's what you choose to do. But I
she doesn't even say
have sent all that information into my docket, and it should all be at your.
Okay, and it's being based on the court rules.
I'm sorry, you're talking, but I can't hear anything.
No one can. We're tuning her out.
To show you who I am. It states it all. It states all of it.
I'm about to get on record. May it please this honorable court, Dante Goss, P60162, on behalf of the people. Your Honor, for someone to represent another person in the courtroom, there must be a licensed attorney from the state of Michigan. Personal representative, beneficiaries, or any things of that nature are not allowed by court rules. So we need the actual defendant to appear. in this matter.
Well, me stating to you all that I am Erica Bowie will put me in your jurisdiction, and I am not in your jurisdiction, and I've sent all documentation stating that.
You may not be from Miss Erica Bowie is, and so I will issue a habeas on Erica Bowie at this time.
But once again, Your Honor, Erica Bowie is stating, Erica Bowie has stated that she is no longer. She has a new identity, new jurisdiction that she is a part of. I'm from the Katapow Nation, and I am a part of League of Indian Nation of North America.
Oh God.
I have a right to pertain to my family business. I have a right to see to it that my children's needs are made. Anything pertaining to my family, sustainability, and upliftment, I have a right to see to that. And the police officer saw that I was pertaining to my family right.
I'm done.
I can't hear you.
Because no one's saying anything. She is a character.
Okay, I was on mute so that my court clerk could answer the call, and I did not. I wanted there to be a very clear record. And I've stated once, and I'm gonna say for a final time, if Erica Bowie is not in the courtroom, pursuant to the court rules, and there is no attorney representing Erica Bowie in this courtroom or on this court Zoom at this time, driving in the state of Michigan without a driver's license is an offense at the time that the officer pulled this person over. Therefore, a habeas, a warrant will be issued on behalf of Erica Bowie. That concludes this matter, Madam Court Reporter. That concludes.
Well, Judge, I object. I object.
Okay.
I object. I sent in all my paperwork to sustain what it is that I'm sharing with you this morning. I object to your calling. I object to your ruling.
You have a right to an appeal. That concludes this matter, this hearing for today. You have a good day, ma'am.
And I know, Judge, that this is not something that you don't know of. I have all my documentations to back up everything that I'm stating.
Okay,
It's unfortunate.
Watch
an appeal. You will have to appeal my decision. I've made a decision. I've made a ruling.
But that's not that's not fair. And that
the
for me,
proper court procedure is to go to the higher court. You have a appellate right. You can exercise your appellate right. That concludes this matter. You have a good day.
But it should have been ended here. I stated to you that I am not of your jurisdiction.
She cut her off. She cut her off. She cut the feed. She wasn't having it anymore, which I was a little upset because I could have kept going. I had my finger on record the whole time. I could have kept going. It was great for us, but Judge Yancey was having none of it. All right, it's not a lie without my girl, Judge Elise Bryant. And then I have a special clip that is going to be a two-parter. Part one's going to be this block. Part two is in members only block.
Just try to proceed, Your Honor.
No, I said, did you need to? Oh, you said.
Oh, now what I'm not gonna do is sit here and wait for him to come. Now, clearly he's already late. He should be sitting at his device.
Oh, not again. Oh, God. This thing is driving me nuts. 36th District.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes, Your Honor.
I need you to go to a breakout room with whoever this is for Hearn. And as I flip the page, I do notice that Mr. McLeish has another
Mr.
case. Or at least another count.
Hello? Hello?
Ma'am, you can, why would you do that? Oh my goodness, why would you do that? If, as I flip my page, Mr. McLeish, he had another count, I guess. I didn't read into the record. So let's make sure. Let me see if that's the same case number, 262. Yeah, so he had another count, guns, possession, operating under influence. I didn't read that in the record because I didn't think that it was separated like that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you need a breakout room with this person who has come to court in the afternoon.
Right away, Your Honor.
Mr. Hearn, please, first of all, you probably need to come into the camera so we can see you and you can see what's going on the camera. And then you probably want to remove your hat because we're in court. Okay, and then Ms. Stevenson, I'll let you find out why Mr. Hearn. Hold on, I'm gonna close out the rooms.
Okay.
Because he wasn't paying attention to the screen. I'm gonna send Mr. Hearn to a breakout room and then you can figure out the information that I need. Okay, there you go.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Mr. Hearn, did you by any chance see something that come up on your screen that said join breakout room? You should have. It comes up on everybody else's phone. So let's do this. I need you to tap your screen and then you should see 4 squares. And then it's going to say join the breakout room again. It should say join the breakout room.
Doesn't he look like Bill Cosby's father-in-law or father from the Cosby Show?
Mr. Hearn, can you unmute yourself, please? Can you unmute yourself, please?
Okay, there you go.
Can you tap your screen, sir? What kind of device are you on?
Laptop.
Can you click on the laptop? Can you hit whatever it is to wake up your screen on the laptop and look and see if you see 4 squares or 3 dots?
I don't see them anywhere.
Can somebody help you? I need you to go to the breakout room. It's 4 squares at the bottom of the screen. If you're on a laptop, the 4 squares right there, they say breakout room.
Yep, I got it. All right, we're joining the breakout room.
Done. All right. Here we go. Let's go to, I got one more clip out of Thurston, and then I'm going to premiere my girl Paisley from Kitchen Court Cases. Her channel, you got to go check her out. That's going to be a 2-parter. All right, so here we go. This is from Thurston. This is from my modest with the mostest, Monica. She turned me on to the Thurston clip. Here we go.
The circumstances.
Okay.
So you might want to, I don't know if you talked to Miss Langley or somebody before, but yeah, I can't answer that for you. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, over to the county jail again. What's your name, sir?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Lorenzo Archer. I've never done this before. This is weird.
Okay, Mr. Archer. Today you're in court for your first court appearance and arraignment for 2 new charges, 2 counts of assault in the 4th degree alleged to have occurred yesterday.
We have a
Sure,
drone sighting.
Mr. Archer, do you understand that those are the crimes you're charged with?
Yes, sir. Can you repeat those? Because I can't hear very well.
Yeah, there's 2 counts of assault in the 4th degree.
Okay.
All right. And did you get to talk to Mr. Sneva today before court?
Yeah, we just chatted a little bit.
Okay, Mr. Sneva.
Thank you, Your Honor. In this case, we'll be entering a stipulation to probable cause for the purposes of this hearing only and entering a plea of not guilty. We will waive any further advisement of rights on this charge. We're going to ask to be screened for an attorney and to be heard on conditions of release. And currently, Your Honor, he doesn't have an income. Thank you.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Archer, I'll enter your not guilty plea to the charges. Appoint the public defender to be your lawyer in this case. And I want to confirm that your mailing address is on Old Highway 99, Southeast Tenino.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you have a cell phone too?
Yes, sir.
Can you give me that number so we can text your court dates to you?
Yes, sir. It's 360-561-6903.
Okay. And the state's position on release?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would note that while Mr. Archer does not have significant recent history, he does have felony harassment, domestic violence, as well as other assaults and malicious mischief charges very akin to the situation we have before ourselves today in his history from 2012. The state is seeking no contact orders with the victims, which I have to apologize to the court. I thought I had prepared, but I do not see them, so I'll have to re-prepare those.
He said.
For both.
He no likey.
Ms. Kathy Johnson and Mr. Lauren Johnson. A victim advocate from our office reached out and they did not wish to address the court today, but they are in support of the protection order. They stated they did not feel comfortable with Mr. Archer returning to their home given the circumstances, but they are comfortable with a civil standby so long as law enforcement is present when he returns to collect his items. The state echoes that request. We would also be requesting, or rather, the state is comfortable with a PR release. It does not appear that there is significant warrant history nor recent history, but the state does feel, given the case from 2012 and the facts of this matter, that the protection order is appropriate here. We'd additionally be asking for no further criminal law violations, make all its future court dates, and given the circumstances, we would be asking for no firearms or deadly weapons.
What did you think was so funny?
Thank you, Your Honor. We would ask the court release him today on his personal recognizance. He has very little criminal history, and as was noted, what he does have is from over a decade ago at this point. We don't object to, well, I mean, he's concerned with the no contact orders in that he doesn't know where else he would go, but I understand that it's quite likely in this matter that the court's going to impose those. So we would just ask, given the lack of history, Your Honor, he is local here. He does have this local phone number, and he can be around, that he'd be given the chance to handle these matters out of custody. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Archer, I will release you today. Conditions on your release: don't violate the law, don't possess firearms or dangerous weapons, and I'm going to issue anti-harassment orders that say that you aren't allowed to have any contact with Kathy and Lauren Johnson.
Okay, what about my wife, my medicine? I haven't had no meds for my diabetes, for my mental health in 3 days, and I'm about to lose it again.
Yeah,
Poor
you'll
guy.
be able to go back there with law enforcement help to pick up your personal belongings like medications and things.
So where am I supposed to go?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Tent in the woods?
I can't answer that.
I can go. That's it for me. I'm
So
done.
I'll sign those.
What am I supposed to live in a tent in the woods? That guy from the last divorce case we had, maybe we could borrow his tent.
Thank you.
Anti-harassments when they're ready.
Take you just
Okay,
1 moment.
Mr. Archer, you'll be released and your court date will be sent to you in the mail and by text.
By text is cool.
Okay, we'll see you here at your next court date.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor,
Okay.
I wonder if I could jump in with one real quick. We have one more Lacey case.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to give us part one of this doozy coming up. I'm not going to reveal anything. I'm just going to let you sit back and relax and enjoy it. And also, if you haven't joined the Discord yet, it's a great time. It's interactions all day long. We have clips, people posting court clips. It's for everybody to see, great conversations. And also I post, which I find funny, humiliating comments that people make about me on the videos and off the live stream. You should see some of the comments about me, which I love. I laugh it off. It's hysterical. And also for people who are just joining in, if you want to show your support to help the channel grow, I am having a little hard drive kind of lag malfunction type thing going on. I have a computer for what you expect from a 41-year-old teacher who really only needs to browse. And now that I'm upgrading, the smallest little bit helps, guys. I'm never going to ask for any type of money. If you could show me the donation, that would be fantastic. I appreciate it. So let's get rolling. This clip is from our girl. She's in the Discord every day posting clips. She's also on YouTube. It's my girl Paisley. She's AMP21 in the Discord. And if my mods could throw up the Discord link in the chat, it's also on my channel page. Paisley from Kitchen Court Cases. You look that up, subscribe to her channel, like all her videos. She's fantastic. This is two-parter. First one coming up right now.
Thank you for your patience.
I'm waiting for parties to come back. I can pop back in the breakout room and sound for my client to make sure she followed. Okay. Okay. I'll do that. I'll tell her to come. And then I'll go get the respondent.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience today. All right, we have finally reached your case on the calendar. Believe it or not, it will not be the last one that we handle today. And so, oh my God.
I think he fell off.
Yeah.
Judge, I'm sorry you're having such a long day.
That's okay. I mean, what was last week? 5:45, 6 o'clock, I think, and that was just to get off the Zoom. That doesn't include the paperwork. So, you know, we've been on a heater lately, is all I can say. So, I mean, considering it was 34 cases on the calendar, we're not in bad shape that we've got, I think we have 10, 14, and the jail case is the only 3 that we're still dealing with. So it's not too bad.
We're always happy to draft orders and submit them for you, even if you make a ruling from the bench, to the extent that that helps.
It's most of it, the number of resets and dismissals we end up with is kind of where a lot of it goes, just having to track down, oh, well, what day was the order issued? What day was it filed? And getting all that for the continuance makes that part a little slower for me. I haven't found a way to speed that up yet. All right, sir, are you able to hear us this time?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon. We've all been dealing with our connections.
I haven't seen this yet. This is new for me, but I love the attire for her, and his purple rain shirt is what my daughter would say, slapping. That's what the kids say. Listen to me, slapping, right?
Stuff all day. And so sometimes it'll be me, sometimes it'll be you, sometimes it'll be someone else. The way that this works, it's the petitioner's case and their burden of proof. They will present testimony. Ms. Jordan, do you intend to call any other witnesses besides the petitioner?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so they'll present their testimony in the form of the petitioner. After they have finished testifying, you'll have a chance to suggest questions if you believe there are questions you wish the court to ask the other party. If I think they're relevant and helpful, then I will do so. And then after they have rested, you have a choice as to whether you present evidence or testimony. And then at that point, I will make a ruling on the case. Understand that it is their burden of proof and that they go first as a result of that. Understand that the time for questions is the time for questions, and the time for statements is the time for statements. And the way that this is structured, in many ways feels backwards to our participants, because what would make the most sense in some cases would be to make your statement in response to their statement. And so just choose your questions carefully, understanding that the court already knows the two of you don't agree on the facts, or else we wouldn't be having the hearing in the first place. So we will do the best we can to move through that. And there may be times where I have additional questions that I either have to interrupt with or jump in with at a certain point. I will also let y'all know we have a courtroom inside the DeKalb County Jail, and we have very limited access to that courtroom, and it is at 4:00 on Tuesday. And so right before I brought you in, I sent the parties on a jail case to go talk to our court facilitator, Mr. Burke. If he comes back with an announcement, I may need to pause the hearing for a few moments, talk to those parties so that the deputies can be released to conduct other duties at the jail, and then we'll resume with your hearing as soon as we're able. If they need a full hearing, then they will have to wait for us to finish. So if we have to pause, it won't be more than 5 to 7 minutes ideally. So with all of that, Ms. Jordan, you can begin.
Thank you, Judge. And I think this one's straightforward. Sometimes I'll do an opening statement to clarify any of the background facts. I think we can just skip it and go into testimony unless the court wants me to clarify anything, like relationship between the parties, anything like that.
No, you can go on in. You can swear your witness in and begin.
Okay, thank you, Judge. All right, I'm going to call Ms. Reynolds, the petitioner in the case, as my first as our only witness. Ms. Reynolds, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. All right, and then I'm going to swear you in. So can you just raise your right hand? Okay, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. All right, so I'm just going to get through some of the background stuff. Is the respondent in this case, is that someone you had a romantic relationship with at some point?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and did the two of you live together?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and did you live together up until the point that the protective order was served?
We lived together up until he finally moved his things out last Sunday.
Okay, thank you. About how long had the two of you been dating?
A little over a year.
And how long had the two of you been living in the same residence?
A matter of months. 3 months. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, let's just jump into the meat of this case. You list in your petition an incident that happened on New Year's Eve, this very past New Year's Eve. Can you just walk the court through what happened on that day?
Yes. So I live on Glenwood in East Atlanta Village, and I'm within walking distance of Flatiron, and I had a few of my girlfriends invite me to go out to Flatiron. So I did. And at Flatiron, we, had a few beers, no more than 3. I had about 2 or 3, and it was raining that night. So I asked the bartender for some paper towels. They were actually kind of decent paper towels. They weren't your typical bar towels. So I put them in my pocket because I knew I'd have to use them for my glasses again. I got into a motorcycle accident in March 2019 where I lost my leg and endured a traumatic brain injury. And I also,
hang on a second. I think there was an objection. So,
Reference to her prior injuries.
That's overruled. Without knowing where that might be going, I can't say that that's irrelevant yet. So, she can continue.
Yeah.
I struggle. So my bladder also exploded in a motorcycle accident, and I struggle with incontinence now. I was waiting to use the restroom. I was waiting in line, couldn't hold it. My bladder released. I had to come home and change clothes. I had to change my pants. And then we were going to go over to my girlfriend's house afterwards and just hang out and giggle, whatever. And so I come home and I take everything out of my pockets. I put it on my bed. I have my beer can. I put it on my nightstand. And Jose came home madder than hell about something, and just barged into my room, sees the beer can, immediately starts telling me that I am just hammered and that I am highly intoxicated. Goes over to my bed, sees that I have cigarettes on my bed, starts accusing me of quote unquote verbatim sucking dick for cigarettes. He sees a little bit of cash I have on the bed from my dad giving me some Christmas money, and he starts, accusing me of hiding money from him, even though I had given him every little bit that I did make to help pay for bills. And he picks up the paper towels. He starts accusing me of being on cocaine and starts ravaging through the paper towels just viciously. And so I'm not feeling good. He obviously, with him being in this rage, I'm not reacting to it very well. And so I tell him to leave my room. He doesn't listen. And so I raise my voice, and I eventually start having a panic attack, start screaming and crying and telling him to leave my room. He's obstructing my pathway out of my bedroom. I'm in the midst of a panic attack, and I'm just flailing, just trying to get him out and get my space. And he cornered me. And
let me stop you right there. About how long were you cornered in your room without being able to leave?
I was cornered what seemed like forever, but it was probably factually about 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay. And during this time, was the respondent's behavior intimidating to you?
Incredibly intimidating. He when he cornered me, he squared up his shoulders. He bowed out his elbows. He took on a fighting stance. And
by that, where were his hands? Were his fists and balls, or were they what do you mean by fighting stance?
So his fists weren't clenched, but they were in a what we call a working throw punch. We are professional wrestlers, and so he naturally goes to this working hand, and his elbows were out and his shoulders were back. His chin was up. He 100% looked like I was genuinely afraid for my safety. I did not think, and there was no way I would have been able to physically defend myself. Not only am I, 100 pounds and he's 300 pounds, but I'm also disabled on one leg. I am no match. If he, it would have. I was genuinely terrified for my safety.
And while you were cornered and he was obstructing your ability to exit the room, what sort of things was he saying?
Oh, he was saying all kinds of things, very demeaning, almost instigating.
Well, let me ask you another question. Was he refusing to leave the room?
Yes, he refused to leave the room.
Okay.
I was like screaming and crying and shaking, and he refused to leave the room. I not only asked him to, but then I told him to, and then I screamed at him to, and he didn't actually leave until I felt like I had no other choice, and I felt like I had to defend myself, and I pulled my firearm out of a dresser drawer. Never once did the muzzle point at him. The barrel always stayed at the ground. I was raised on a horse farm, so firearm safety is the top of my priority. That was enough to snap him out of his rage, just seeing it, and he backed out of my room. Thank God, finally. And I ran over to the door and I locked it.
Okay. And okay, so after that, did you leave the residence?
Yes. So after that, I didn't feel comfortable in my own home. I didn't feel comfortable in my skin. I felt very unsafe. So I left.
About how many days did you go, or did you go to an undisclosed location, like a place he didn't know where you were?
Yes, I went to an undisclosed location. I feared so much for my safety that I didn't even tell the people closest to me where I was, because I knew he would contact them, and he did.
Well, let me ask you, how long did you stay at an undisclosed location?
4 days.
Okay. And did the respondent attempt to try to find you during that time?
Yeah, he contacted my dad. He contacted my friends. He contacted my employer at the time. He contacted every single person who was close to me, and that was the reason why I didn't tell anybody where I was going, because I didn't feel safe and I didn't want them to have to lie for me.
Okay. All right. Did he also contact your psychiatrist?
He did. On January 4th, he contacted my psychiatrist and actually told him a version of the truth that was highly distorted. And my psychiatrist in return decided to alter my medications. So he was not only physically, violating, but he was also mentally violating my health, my space, my peace. And I had been on a medication called Lexapro. I'd been stabilized on Lexapro for a few years. And because of him, contacting and lying to my doctor, my doctor weaned me off, and now we are still, troubleshooting what works for me now.
Let me stop you. Without getting too deep into medical history stuff, because this is live streamed, you mentioned earlier that you had a panic attack. Is that something you've experienced before?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you say panic attack, you don't mean you were anxious, you mean a medical event?
Yes. I have been diagnosed
Okay. All right. Let's backtrack a little bit. In your petition, you said that there have been other incidents of violence. Can you tell the court about another incident that happened in the past?
Yes. So we were doing a pressure washing job. It was late this past summer. We were doing a pressure washing job and we got into an argument about what, I have no idea anymore. But he got, I was panic pacing because he gets me so riled up. And I went to just walk away from the argument, simply just walk away. And he grabbed my arm and on my one leg swung me around to where I was facing him and wouldn't let me walk away from the argument.
Okay. And when you say on your one leg, I know you mentioned that you have a disability. So are you an amputee? Do you only have one leg?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a below the knee amputee.
Okay. And so if he spins you around, is that the same as, does that have the same effect as it would with someone who has two legs, or is it different?
Oh, it's very different. Walking on a prosthetic is one of the worst high heels I've ever put on. Your gaits change, because your body weight is different. So your body compensates in different ways. Your brain, fires in different manners. And sometimes, because of my traumatic brain injury, my brain doesn't fire quick enough, efficiently enough. And I absolutely am at risk of getting very hurt.
Okay. All right. Are there any other incidents that you think the court should consider for this protective order?
Let me think. I'm sure I could come up with some things. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Thank you, Love Jump. Guys, hop on that. 5 memberships and 1 membership from Monica. Hop on that. 6 memberships up for grabs for the live.
That's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
That's okay. Let me ask you one final question, and that is, maybe one final line of questioning. Are you seeking this protective order because you're in fear for your safety?
Yes, ma'am. He works in professional wrestling, so do I. We do go along the same roads together, and I have seen him go out of his way to what they call take a liberty on another wrestler, basically intentionally hurt somebody that trusted their body to him.
Objection, Your Honor. That's hearsay.
It's not hearsay, but it is outside the scope of this hearing. So I'll sustain your objection, just not for the reason it was made.
I'll ask a more directive question. Are you in fear for this? Why don't you tell the court about some of the things you've had to do to protect yourself from the respondent?
I've had to leave my home. I've had to essentially disappear. I've had to isolate myself from people that love me and that care about me to keep myself and them safe. I've had to, he's slandered me in so many different ways. I've had to, defend myself, even though, like, I don't know.
I think we can leave it there.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I think that's it for my questions, Judge.
All right. So, sir, the way, by and large, what this hearing is here to decide is whether or not there have been acts of family violence committed that justify the issuance of a protective order. And so this is the portion of the proceedings where you have the opportunity to ask her questions. If you wish to ask her questions, you can suggest those to the court, and if I believe they are appropriate and helpful, then we will go forward with them and she can answer. If it's something that's outside the scope of the hearing or otherwise evidentiarily inappropriate, then we may not ask the question. Is there any question that you think the court should ask of this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. From the night she's speaking of, I did surrender in a video. I'd like to show it before I ask my next 3 questions. Is there any way I could do that, sir?
Yes.
Your Honor.
When did you send that in?
They were sent in and accepted into evidence earlier this morning.
Okay, Madam Clerk, are you able to see those?
Yes, Judge.
All right, we're going to set up a screen share, and so you're asking to play the video so you can then ask questions about it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is this what you were looking for?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
What is that?
Becky, look how you're acting.
Get the fuck out of my room.
You're trying to grab a knife you just said to stab me.
Get the fuck out of my room.
Why are you grabbing a knife?
Put the camera away and get the fuck out of my room. I no longer want to speak to you.
Why are you still doing
I do not want to speak to you. Get out of my room.
Isn't that tissue right there?
Absolutely fucking nothing. It's what I used to wipe my goddamn glasses off when it was fucking raining. Fuck you. I did not do any goddamn blow. Get the fuck out of my room. Get the fuck out of my goddamn room.
Okay. The first question I'd like to ask after watching that video is when that video was shot, I believe there was a moment before that where you actually left your room to go to my room to get your space heater, and I helped you carry your walker. If you weren't allowed to leave your own space, how come I was able to? How come we both left your room to go grab your space heater and your walker?
That was unreal.
Ms. Reynolds, it looks like you've gone back on mute. So, were you able to hear the question he asked?
Yes, will you reiterate that in a more direct question, please?
Sure. Before that video was shot, you had stated in your before the video was shown, in your statement, you said that I came in, barged into your room, yelling and screaming, and kept you in there. Before that video, there was a moment where you left the room, where you told me to move, and I moved to the side so you could go to my room to pick up your space heater, and I carried your walker into your bedroom. The walker that can be seen in the video next to your possum tree, correct?
What?
Yeah, that was before things escalated and before I ended up having a panic attack and before it was before you started pushing me up against the wall.
So how long would you estimate there was between those two portions of this event?
Let me see. I was cornered for about 3 to 5. Things escalated over a matter of probably about 15. So it was probably about 20 minutes before.
Your Honor, I'd like to go back to the statement she made earlier, if we could have him read them back. I believe she had stated that I came into her room yelling and screaming immediately and blocking her path.
Well, that's argumentative. It's not a question. This is the portion of the question.
Okay.
So what questions do you have for her besides that?
The next part, when in the argument would you say that video was taken?
It was
I asked and answered. She literally just said 20 minutes after, they went to get the space heater. Things escalated for 15 minutes.
I guess. And how he asked, so are both parties in agreement that this was more or less the end of it, or that portion of the exchange was, I'm sorry.
I need a pick. Mine's coming. All your stuff is coming soon. Yes.
It's been a long day. All right. We've been doing this since 9. It is 5. Yeah, she's provided enough of a timetable for her version of the event, so we can move to the next question.
Okay. You stated that you're a risk, you have balance issues and you're a risk of falling, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you also not a trained professional wrestling referee that goes out and does independent bookings outside of the one company that you trained with? So
Yes,
the
and
belief would
those
be
wrestlers are trained to watch out for the referee. And I am much easier to fall over, as in the last Deep South Wrestling show. I barely got nudged by Jacob Johnson. It is on YouTube to see. And I did topple over.
okay. And the incident that you said happened with the pressure washing job where I grabbed your wrist and spun you around. Which hand did I grab? Did I grab you with?
What do you mean?
Which hand did I use to
Your
grab?
hands?
Yes.
I don't know. Probably your right. I don't remember.
Okay. You had also stated that I had an altercation with another professional wrestler in a ring. Do you remember me ever having any injuries coming out of a situation like that?
That was irrelevant when it was asked, and so going into it now would not be appropriate either.
Right.
Generally speaking, just for both parties' information, sometimes the analogy I use, these cases are between one party and another party only. Whoever you can think of as the most dangerous person in the world, whether that's if you want to do Al Capone or if you're into true crime and want to pick your favorite serial killer, they can move in next door to you and you don't have any grounds for a protective order in Georgia unless they start doing things to you. And so we'll focus from here.
That was a little deep, Judge. But pent up serial killer? Yikes. Serial killer vibes, Judge. Now the haircut makes sense.
Here on interactions between the two of you.
Fair enough, Your Honor. You had also stated that
Amanda's here.
You felt the need to go into hiding after the events of the morning of New Year's Eve, correct?
Oh, he's fixing his wet head.
Yeah, I disappeared. I felt like I had to. I felt like I had no other option.
Who has birds?
I didn't feel safe. I wasn't safe in my own home. I didn't feel comfortable in my skin.
And at no point were you up the block in the East Atlanta Village?
So she said that she went to an undisclosed location, which means it's a location she chose to keep private from you. And, you know, not to be sarcastic about it because I truly don't intend it that way, but her testimony was that she went to a place that she believed you didn't know, and she's entitled to leave the answer at that, whether that place you think is close by or far away.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough, Your Honor. Did you also not send me a text message saying that you were leaving for the night?
Yes. Thought that was me.
That I was leaving? Yeah.
Scully.
I did. I gave you that courtesy. I still felt obliged to you. I still, even though you made me feel like this, I still felt some sort of loyalty, unfortunately.
Okay. Next question. You said I reached out to your father, your friends, and your boss. Would it be more fair to say that your father contacted me because he couldn't get a hold of you asking if we were still coming to dinner? And that's when I started calling around looking for you 2 days later?
I don't understand the question.
Would it be a fair statement to say that on New Year's Day perhaps your father had contacted me asking if me and you were coming to his house for dinner, and that's why I started calling around looking for you.
So she can't say why you did what you did or what was in your head, but we can reframe this. So do you know whether Ms. Reynolds, do you know whether your father tried to contact the respondent at all?
I think he did. I think because we had plans to go over for New Year's dinner. So I think whenever, and like I said, I isolated myself completely. So I think my dad reached out. I don't know that factually. I don't have, his phone in front of me or anything.
Okay. So she doesn't know directly, but she says that's certainly possible. So what other questions do you have?
Yeah.
Is it fair to say on the video that we see the only one yelling and screaming and striking is you?
Objection. The video speaks for itself. I mean, we saw it.
Yeah. I mean, that can be parsed in argument.
Fair enough. Okay, no further.
All right. Since Ms. Jordan has told us that will be her only witness, this is going to be the point that we pause. We do have a consent agreement on the jail case, so I'll need a few minutes to review that with both parties, and then when we return, sir, if you wish to give your testimony, you'll have the opportunity to.
Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna pick up right where we left off, part 2 from members only stream. I'm gonna leave you with one more clip from Judge Conlon today. This guy, I captured him before when he said, "This is a joke." I don't know if you had it. It was a clip I had way back when he's like, "Dude, I've been here for 6 months. This is a joke." Well, he gets sentenced today and he blows up on Conlon. So I'm going to show that one as a departing gift, and then I'm going to hop on the members only stream, and we're going to pick right off with part 2, and then a whole bunch of other clips after that. All right, so here we go with the clip, and then we are going to the members only stream coming up.
Say before I impose sentence? Is that a no?
That's a no.
Okay. Mr. Amstutz, I hope that I don't see you again, but I'm concerned a little bit about your history. It looks like you've got a long history of felony conviction and misdemeanor convictions. So my hope is your lawyer said you'll come back a changed man. I hope for all of our sakes that that's the case. So as to count 2, fleeing a police officer in the 4th degree under the vehicle code, guideline sentencing recommendations are 5 to 23 months. It is a sentence of the court that you serve 12 months to 2 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections with credit for 344 days served, concurrent with dockets 21-277465FH and 21-026953FH. Additional conditions: number 1, you must pay a $68 state cost as ordered by the court. Number 2, you must pay a crime victim assessment in the amount of $130 as ordered by the court. Number 3, you must pay court costs of $1,611 as ordered by the court. And number 4, you must pay attorney fees of $650 as ordered by the court. That concludes today's hearing. Because this is a sentence to MDOC, there's no early discharge from that. So Mr. Feaster will provide you an appellate rights form, sir. You are entitled to file an application for leave to appeal the.
Hold on. When we started.
Sure, I'll hold on. What?
You said I was gonna get 2 years ranking current with this. They didn't say I had to pay $1,600. $1,600 for what? Wait, for what?
Look at Torch. Say what?
I mean, you guys got a car that went by without a license plate. The cop said he couldn't see if the driver was male or female. I just took this because my lawyer told me to. I mean, now I'm getting charged $1,600 for something I didn't do. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Well, the good news is, as I was just saying, you have the right to file an application for leave to appeal my decision. Mr. Feaster is going to get you a form that has all that information that you need on it. But one of the things you need to pay attention to is that if you want court-appointed counsel to represent you on appeal, you have to make that request within writing within 42 days of today's date. So that's the piece that you're you need to know. Mr. Feaster, can you confirm you will get that to your client? All right. So you have the right to appeal this, sir. You can seek to, we have to ask the Court of Appeals to take the case, but you certainly may do that. Okay?
I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
He says it again. Here we go.
Number 26, People versus Sterling Hickman, 2312FH.
All right, here we go, guys. If you haven't heard, anyone who hopped on just now, we are going to the live starting at 9:05. I'm just getting time to get, it's going to be at 9:05. You find the link. Obviously, it's posted for the live 9:05 members only stream part 2 of the one-legged wrestling ref and her 300-pound Purple Rain ex-husband. Let's roll, nerds. I will see you on the flip side.